You might think to yourself, what is in this book for me? I don't feel like I've had much of a past. I have been a Christian for as long as I can remember. I feel like my Christian life is ticking along fine. And again, I've been that person. I've been that person that thought I was just a pretty safe, good Christian who was behaving well. And it's true, I was. Nobody could really reproach my outside life. And it took God stepping in to make me see that inside, my attitudes were not those of Jesus. My heart had not been conformed toward him. I don't know a single Christian woman who hasn't struggled with sin. I don't know a single Christian woman who hasn't suffered in some way. And one of the things that I ended up writing about, and it may not be, when you read women who overcame their past, you might be thinking about sexual sin or scandal or crime or something like that. One of the women that I actually wrote about was Sarah Edwards. Now, Sarah Edwards was a really upstanding Christian woman, but she struggled a lot with what people thought of her. And this is one thing for me too. And in Christian circles, we often call this the fear of man. What are people going to think of me if I do this or say this, or don't do this or say this? It can be really debilitating. I'm just going to read a paragraph about what that feels like. The desire to fit in can cause us to pass over opportunities to share the gospel. When faced with an opportunity, we wonder, what will they think of me, instead of what will they think of Christ? We overlook other people's true need of the good news, looking instead at our own abilities and confidence and social acceptability. This reminds me particularly of Moses, who, ordered to go and begin the deliverance of God's people, was more worried about his fear of public speaking and looking like a fool in front of his old pals at the palace. We've all been Moses. I've been Moses. I bet you've been Moses. And I think in this book, there are lots of different topics. For example, eating disorders. You may not struggle with an eating disorder, but you may have struggled with wanting to control every aspect of your life, which is often what an eating disorder is rooted in. You may not have struggled with homosexual desires like Rosaria Butterfield, but you may have struggled with temptation. I think we've all probably struggled with sexual temptation. So I think this book is great for equipping young Christians who haven't yet come into some of the things they're going to face in their future. And that's why I've dedicated it to my 6-year-old daughter, because I want her to look to the one who truly overcomes, Jesus, because in him we can overcome everything.